Congenital adrenal hyperplasia is most commonly due to deficiency of 21-hydroxylase. Deficiency results in decreased cortisol, increased 17-hydroxyprogesterone and androgen. Presentation in female infants is virilization. Signs of female virilization include clitoral enlargement, which can appear as an underdeveloped phallus with an ectopic urethral meatus, hypospadias. Partial or completely fused labioscrotal folds and non-palpable gonads. Initial evaluation of ambiguous genitalia includes pelvic ultrasound to assess for presence of female internal organs and karyotype to confirm genotype. Serum electrolytes should be obtained to screen for salt wasting forms of CAH, which can result in a life-threatening adrenal crisis. As spontaneous descent is rare after age 6 months, orchiopexy is optimally performed before age 1 year to avoid complications of cryptorchidism like infertility, testicular torsion, and testicular malignancy. However, even after surgery, the risk of testicular germ cell tumor remains elevated compared to the general population. Cryptorchidism doesn't delay the timing of pubertal onset, which is controlled by the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Varicocele are typically a benign dilation of pampiniform plexus veins, but can occur secondary to venous obstruction from an abdominal mass or thrombus. Intra-abdominal testicular torsion should be suspected in an infant with cryptorchidism who presents with acute severe abdominal pain and vomiting, irritability, and inconsolable crying. Emergency surgical detorsion and orchiopexy are indicated to salvage the testes. Elective surgical correction of cryptorchidism is recommended as early as 4 months to avoid testicular torsion. Asymptomatic unilateral cryptorchidism is not an emergency, and routine monitoring is appropriate until age 6 months, after which spontaneous descent is unlikely. A hydrocele is a fluid collection within the tunica vaginalis. Hydroceles are common in neonates and present with painless unilateral or bilateral scrotal swelling. Uh, there are two types of hydroceles, communicating one and non-communicating. Communicating hydrocele is because of processus vaginalis fails to obliterate, and non-communicating hydrocele is formed if the processus vaginalis obliterates but the fluid collected within the tunica vaginalis doesn't reabsorb. In case of communicating hydrocele, swelling may fluctuate with crying or straining, like increased intra-abdominal pressure. But in case of non-communicating hydrocele, they are irreducible and remain constant in size. Transillumination helps differentiate scrotal masses. As hydroceles are cystic, it does transilluminate, whereas inguinal hernias contain bowel that doesn't typically transilluminate. Most of the hydroceles should spontaneously resolve by age 1 year and can be safely observed during that period. In case of inguinal hernia, ultrasound imaging is required. Hypospadias. Due to failure of urethral folds to fuse, there is ventrally displaced urethral opening or urethral meatus extending to corona. In addition, incomplete ventral foreskin closure leads to a dorsal hood appearance, means extra dorsal foreskin. Also, there is CORDY on clinical examination. The first step in management of hypospadias is urologic evaluation because most cases require surgical correction. Circumcision is deferred until after evaluation, because the foreskin may be required for hypospadias repair. In case of severe hypospadias, means scrotal or perineal urethral meatus with bilateral non-palpable gonads may be indicative of disorder of sex development, and in which a female infant is virilized or male infant is under-virilized. And so therefore karyotype is performed to confirm the genotype. Renal ultrasound is indicated for patients with hypospadias plus WAGR syndrome, breast tumor, aniridia, genitourinary malformation, and mental retardation. Severe hypospadias is characterized by a urethral meatus located at the perineum or scrotum, an underdeveloped penis or glans, severe penile curvature, and cryptorchidism. This condition may be indicative of a disorder of sex development and warrants karyotype analysis to assess genotype and pelvic ultrasound to assess for internal genitalia. Health benefits associated with neonatal circumcision include the following: significant decrease in UTI in the first year of life, prevention of pathologic phimosis, and modest reduction in the risk of penile cancer, reduction in the certain penile inflammatory disorders like balanitis, and reduction in the some sexually transmitted infections like HPV and HIV. But it doesn't protect against all STIs, including many of the most common gonorrhea and chlamydia. When you are curious, you find lots of interesting things to do. Walt Disney. Stay awesome.